Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's charting session. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. It is Monday, November 27th. So, today was kind of a mediocre day. I am green on the day. A lot of you should be as well. We'll get into that and the problems if you ended up continuing to trade today and ended up possibly even making more or giving back some profits, but we'll get into that. I took a couple trades today. In the morning, I got stopped out, and then later in the day, we took two wins as well as another loss. So, I'm up around 1,500 on the day. Again, not a big day. Going into a Monday with no news. Normally, a day like this is a day that I won't even trade, but I was excited to see how the Monday was going to set up for the rest of the week, so I decided to come in, trade small size, see if we can get some good setups, and we ended up getting some decent setups, but nothing too crazy. So we'll get into kind of my bias going into the day, and then we'll talk about any trades you guys took today that we want to review or you want me to go over, any questions you have going into the rest of the week, any questions you have in general, and then we'll end off by talking about what we're looking at going into the rest of the week and tomorrow. So going into the morning, I did have a bearish bias. I wanted to see us continue to roll over, but one thing in the back of my head is I did consider, since today is a Monday, we could set up for a manipulation move higher before selling off the rest of the week. So in my opinion right now, I want to see us start to roll back over into the bigger time frame imbalance like we talked about in last night's charting session. So going into this morning, once we started to get displacement, I was looking to see if bearish imbalances were starting to get respected and bullish imbalances were getting ran through. So we had a nice 1 hour fair value gap here. And what I was looking for is this 4 hour fair value gap. Once this 4 hour got ran through, which we were starting to in the morning, we got all the way through it. I was looking for this to now become an inverse and then to reject to go back to this low. Now, do keep in mind, we actually did end up taking these equal lows in the morning. So we grabbed something here. We took these equal lows and then ended up running back up. So in the morning, I took a very small size. I took like one contract at pre-market to see if we were going to end up selling off at the open or not. I was trying to catch a sell-off at the open. Looking back, again, this wasn't a bad opportunity, and I lost maybe $400. The trade I took right here was on this 15-minute inverse. Once we were respecting this 1 hour fair value gap, let me kind of bring price action back a little bit so you can get an idea of what we're looking at. This is what I was looking at here. Had a sort of 3-drive pattern at the high, 1, 2, 3 failed. I was looking to see this 15-minute get ran through and start to displace out of this 1 hour fair value gap. So I was looking to see us displace back down and start to form that sell model to target these external draws. Once we got below this 15-minute fair value gap, I traded it as an inverse. Maybe, again, a little bit too early of an entry because it was pre-market, but I was totally fine with risking what I was because I was only in one contract or two. And so I ended up getting stopped at the open when we had the wick. Again, very tight risk on this. I was risking maybe, how much was this actually? Maybe 7, 8 points. Once we got into this inverse, or actually up here, so around 12 points at this recent high is what my risk was on this. We ended up coming all the way back up, continuing to break out. Zooming in on the 1 minute, let's move back here because we did have some other trades here. So at this point in time in the morning, what I wanted to be careful of is I was most likely expecting to see possible slower action once this move happened. Now, the reason is in the morning, we ended up coming down and taking this low. So we came down, took this low. We have relative equal lows now, so I still want to see us come back to this area, but we did come down and take this low. And we continued to hold the previous 15-minute fair value gap, which was right here. One thing I want you to keep in mind is when going into a morning, when going into trying to find a bias, trying to find what the draw on liquidity is, there is an objective in the market. Now, the closest areas that we were looking for buy side and sell side at the morning was the previous high. We had these equal highs up here and the recent low we had down here. We were in this range, right? These are our two morning objectives. We're either going to go manipulate the other or take one or the other or displace through it to see whatever the external draw is. So I'm simply at this point in time watching price action. In the morning, we end up pumping up, taking out buy side, immediately selling all the way back off to take out that sell side level. So in the morning, both objectives, or at least where we are in this range, are taken. So at this point in time, I'm trading the internal model, just waiting to see some sort of confirmation to what we want to do. But at this point in time, I'm also keeping in mind, if I am bearish, I need to see displacement through this low, which we did not do. We are continually holding bullish imbalances and also came down to sweep this level and now getting displacement back up, which is very bullish. So I'm not marrying my short buys because I know right now what the market is telling me is there's no reason for us to continue to sell. There is no reason for me to try to take a short position because the opportunity has not yet told myself what we need to see, which is displacement through this low. Until we got displacement, there's no reason that I should be looking to take a short until that happens. So once we end up coming down to sweep this level, I'm pretty bullish at this point in time. We end up coming down to this 1 minute fair value gap, continuing to kind of slow chop here. And I took a stab long right here. Looking back, should not have really taken this off. Now, I took a long right here. We continue to hold the 1 minute fair value gap. Boom, we get displacement to the upside, pull back to the imbalance. I took a long right here. My stop was at this recent low, and I was targeting this high as well, and then leaving my runners to go. Now, at this point in time, I looked at the chat, and I'll be completely honest with you. I looked at the chat and just saw somebody say bearish SMT, and I reevaluated, and I looked, and I was like, oh shit, we really do have a bearish SMT here. And this is kind of what maybe took it off. So I ended up taking it off at break even. Again, keep in mind, trading low size. When I go into a Monday, I am not focused on trying to catch the best setups. I am not focused on trying to catch massive moves. I am not focused on trying to alert 50-point, 100-point moves. I do not care. My goal when I go into a Monday is to simply backtest price action and let Monday set us up for the rest of the week. When you go into a Monday and you put on risk, especially when we have a no news Monday, you continually will see it again on a Monday. If you are not focused on defense and you are more focused on offense, you will get hurt badly if you cannot recognize the conditions. So on a day like this, I am always going to be a little bit, actually a lot more defensive. If I see something against my bias, I'm going to not trade it. If I see something in favor, but something's not up, I'm always going to be lowering size. So on a day like this, when I'm constantly trading lower size, I'm even going to be more picky when I see something like this because I'm focused on defense. Again, on a day like this, we've talked about this many times before. Being able to understand when and when not to put on size, when and when not to be overly aggressive. A day like this is one of those days where I won't extra scale into positions. I won't, trade my full size. And I won't even try to focus on the data given to me at this point in time. A day like this is simply to come in, backtest models, trade low size, and continually, again, why are we trading? What do we do every single day? Every single day, but especially on Mondays, all I'm focused on is building conviction with my edge and with my eye. What I mean by that is watching price action, thinking in my head where I would want to see market go, and seeing if it happens. If it happens, guess what? I'm building conviction. I'm building my eye every single day we come into a market. Another thing that I'm focused on when we come into a day, constantly building good habits. I am not going into the day being like, let's make a bunch of money, blah, 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 blah. All the people that are like, let's make some money. We're going into fucking blah, blah, blah. Let's make a bunch of money. You have no fucking clue if you're going to make money or not. You don't know what the opportunity is given. If there is going to be any opportunity during that day. So going into a day like this, simply focused on backtesting price action, trading low size, and building conviction. That's all I'm doing on a day like this. And for the people who are like, oh my God, Justin, there were so many opportunities. Oh my God, guess what? For me personally, I do not think there was any high quality opportunity today. We did take some good setups. They were fine, but they were not high quality. And the reason they're not high quality is because the price action efficiency does not back the model. And that's what I want you guys to focus on. Is recognizing what high quality, efficient price action looks like. Once you see that, your models will be so much more higher probability. And the times when you see that is the times when you will trade full size and you should scale into positions. Again, taking advantage of high quality opportunity versus playing defensive when you have low quality opportunity. So in tonight's session, that's kind of what I want to focus on, and we focus on it a lot. But it's the most important thing. I am trying to get you guys to detach yourself from the outcome, detach yourself from wanting to get funded, detach yourself from wanting to fund your own account or growing an account, whatever that is. Your focus should be backtesting, building conviction, and following good habits. That should be in your brain, programmed into you and how you think, because thinking this way, again, trading is a longevity game. We are not here to make money for a couple months and leave. We're not here to make money for a year and leave. Because if you're focused on that, you won't make money for that long period. You're going to make money for maybe a month, 2 months, 3 months, but you've been building such bad habits over time and completely have forgotten and disregarded the importance of those things. So all it takes is a couple days, a week for you to wipe out all of that progress because you haven't been focusing on those things that are going to keep you from making those mistakes. So time and time again, when I see members make the same mistakes, you guys know you make those same mistakes. You guys know that you repeat the mistakes, and yet you still do it. Why do you think that is? Trust me, it is hard. It is very hard. I had to go through the exact same process. I had many fails. But the thing that made me realize what the problem was is how you are programmed. What are your desires? What are your ambitions? What is your goal from this? When you are completely focused on the outcome instead of the process gets skewed. The process becomes dirty. It becomes not clean. It becomes scary. It becomes, again, the risk is off the board at that point because you're focused on the outcome and not the process. My whole goal with this community and when we do these sessions is to completely rewire your brain and how you think when it comes to trading. Our goal is not to make money. Trust me, money will come. Money will come. I promise you. But if you are not focused on the process and the actual habits that are going to make you money long term, then you won't get money. It's as simple as that. And again, it might sound counterintuitive, but for the people who have traded long enough, they 100% realize and know the truth behind if you don't focus on money, you'll make money. And if you focus on money, you're going to lose money. It's just how it is. It's how psychology works as humans. Just like if you're looking for love in life, you're most likely not going to find a girl. If you're looking to get buff, you're probably not going to put in the work too. We have a sense in ourselves where we like to tell ourselves we're going to do something to make ourselves feel better and then not do it. That's why I always say, stop saying you're going to do something and just fucking do it. Because when you put it out there in the world, you get a little bit of dopamine. When you're like, again, it goes with growing a business or wanting to, get buff or whatever it is. If I have a goal where it's like, I'm going to get buff by the end of the summer, and I constantly go around telling my friends this, I am getting the same dopamine output from that than actually doing it. So actually doing the process and working on those things becomes a lot harder because I'm constantly getting fed that dopamine of already doing it when I haven't done it. That is something that will constantly hold you back in life. And that's something not just for trading, but in everything you are doing in life. So always constantly be aware. Always constantly be aware of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage in this specific case is personal dopamine by telling others your goals and getting that quick dopamine, and then you actually doing those goals becomes so much harder. So keep that in mind. Again, a little bit stray from the path, but I want you to. It's such an important thing that I live by and always focus on in my life, and that I want you guys to, and it's very important in trading. So okay, back to the specific setup. Again, this trade looked fine. It looked really good. Again, bigger time frame imbalance. We're looking bullish. We came down, swept sell side, got displacement back up. Again, I'm not automatically just longing this 1 minute fair value gap. I'm trading the internal model. Once we come down, we continue to hold this 1 minute. I was watching the 15-second. Again, price action all over the place. But notice the entry that we took was the best entry. Why is that? Because this is the first point in time on the internal model where we have gotten displacement. We are continuing to chop, continuing to chop, continuing to chop. Again, notice every single high that we have put in has not been broken through. We put a high in here, never broken through. High in here, never broken through. New high here, never broken through. Until finally we get that displacement move, which is right here. We get the move finally breaking past these highs and creating that imbalance, right? This is the point in time where we know this is exactly what we would want to start to see. Once we get this displacement to the upside, I took a long in the imbalance, and then I ended up taking it off right after because I noticed this bearish SMT. Should I have taken it off? To me, it's really hindsight. I didn't need to. I was trading one size anyway, one contract anyway, or a couple contracts. My risk was very small for this, so I was totally fine holding this. And then this ended up actually working out as well. So again, am I upset about this because I took a loss or because I took it off a break even and missed on this move? No. How many of you took this trade today with me, took a stop at break even, and then saw this go and you got fucking frustrated? Be honest with me. How many of you, and not even this specific trade, but how many of you guys will get into a setup, take a trade, overanalyze it, or whatever it is, take it off, and then see it go in your favor? How does that affect you mentally after that? Shit, I'm kind of guilty. Guys, it's normal, okay? If you have that problem, that's normal, okay? That's the first thing I'm going to say. It's fine. But our goal is to program that out of you because you are focused. Again, it all comes just back. I don't want to get like philosophical or too much into I really like having these deep psychology talks because it's just basic common sense. Why would you get upset by this? Why? What's the reasoning why somebody would get upset about this? Because in the back of their head, they are replaying the scenario of them being in the position. They would have been up, I would have been, 1K, 2K on this trade, but instead, I fucked up, I saw, your mind just starts racing when shit like this happens because you're not focused on getting something out of it. You are focused on the outcome of what you are working on, and that cannot get in the way of the process. When you see a move like this, you need to rewire your brain. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? That's number one. I'm not getting upset. I'm not automatically jumping into another trade, trying to make it back. I'm not constantly fucking trying to make back a loss, whatever it is. I am simply stepping back and saying, okay, I took a trade here. It ended up working out, but I ended up taking it off early. Was this a good decision? Was this a bad decision? Okay, well, looking back, we did have an SMT. I was trading low size. My goal for the day was to, trade low size. My goal for the day was to backtest price action. So aligning my goal to the decision I made, that was a pretty smart decision. I saw something that was against my bias, and I wasn't willing to risk whatever I had on the table, so I took it off a break even. No loss, no win. Maybe some commissions. Maybe 10, 20 bucks loss, right? Which I don't care. What I get out of this is instead of saying, oh my God, I'm looking at this saying, hey, this is the exact model I would normally be trading. This is going to continue to add conviction into my model, continue to add conviction into the way I see the market. Guess what? I had an idea that we were going to come into this imbalance, hold and bounce. Guess what? We just did exactly what I expected to do. What's happening here? Oh my God, I'm building confidence because I'm not focused on making money. Holy shit, isn't that mind-blowing, right? So my whole goal is for you guys to get the idea of making money or getting some sort of outcome out of your mind. As much as it sucks, as much as you hate it, as much as it might seem counterintuitive, you need to disconnect yourself from any outcome from this game. Trust me, that outcome will come. It'll come faster than you can expect when you disregard it. When you are not looking is when you will find, okay? So this was the first trade we took. Ended up getting... took it off at break even. We ended up coming back up and then all the way back up to buy side. Wait, wasn't there? I took another long here, didn't I? Let me turn on my, where did I take this long? Oh, I can't see my execution labels because the day's over. Fuck. Hold on, let me zoom in here. I thought I took another long here. I think I did. 5 minute, because I remember the 5 minute fair value gap didn't get touched back into. Or the 1 minute didn't, sorry. Or this might have been later, actually. This was later. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're good. Oh, yeah. Okay, we took a short initially. So you're right, you're right. Okay, so this was the second trade, or the third trade. Was a little bit of a scalp, a little bit of a short. Again, came up, took that buy side level, got big displacement back inside the range. Once I saw us continue to hold the first imbalance, came up, rejected. I then waited for the next imbalance, which was this 1 minute fair value gap. Took a small little short. Again, low size, low cons. Stop at the recent little wick high. And took off pretty much 80% of my contracts in this imbalance. And just a nice little scalp there. And the reason for this, again, why am I not trying to catch all the way back here? Why am I not trying to catch this big move? Because from what this entry is, I do not know if this is the right model. I do not know if we were going to start market maker model. This imbalance is going to be the main area where we will bounce. Why is that? Because it's back to equilibrium of this range. So this is the point in time where we will decide if we want to flip back bullish. Excuse me. Or if we're going to run this and flip back bearish to go hunt equal lows. So at this point in time, I am not looking to catch a massive move. I am looking to catch where I know the market is confident in going, which is this imbalance. Again, why do markets move? Hunt liquidity, rebalance to equilibrium, rebalance to an inefficiency. What's my bias for this? Buy side swept, displacement. I'm expecting us to rebalance to the bigger time frame inefficiency, rebalance the equilibrium of this range. I did hold on to one contract, though, because if we do end up running through this, I would like to expect that to happen, right? I would expect this to become market maker sell model. I don't know if we are going to break this, but I am going to anticipate there is a possibility. That does not mean I'm going to hold all my contracts. Again, I'm focused on confidence. Confidence. Not catching a big move. I am confident with this. 15 points. 15 points is all you need. You need 5 points. 15 points is a lot. Again, you want to know why you shouldn't catch big moves? This is a leveraged-based game. This is about confidence, not sizing, not distance, not the size of a move. If you are consistent with catching a 5-point move and you have a model with consistently catching a 5-point move, you will be rich. Guess what? Somebody who maybe catches 100-point moves here and there, they'll never be successful. Why is that? Because you are focused on confidence. If you are confident with catching 5 points, guess what? You can infinitely leverage yourself with trading. That is what is so great. All you need is confidence, and then you add size. I could trade 50 cons with this trade and make 10, 15 grand, 20 grand. Who knows? Let's find out. Can I not create? I don't, why? It's not letting me, never mind. I can't even, it won't let me create the thing. So one of the things I also want to talk about too, oh, I'm on replay. You're right. Sorry. One of the things I also want to talk about too is, well, let's see, 20 contracts. Yeah, 7K. Is trading the biggest thing that I truly believe holds somebody back from being successful is not their edge, it's not their system. It might be. It's how they think. It's how you are programmed. If you go back to the root cause of most of your problems, it all comes back down to who you are and what you want. Think about that for a second. Every single problem that you have with trading, if you would go back to the root cause, most of the time, it all comes back down to a mindset, a perspective. A perspective. If your perspective in the market is a money-making machine, do you think that you're going to be successful? What comes with thinking that it is a money-making machine? That comes with gambling habits. That comes with little to no risk. That comes with not understanding why the market is moving. You are focused on money, which is a byproduct of why the market is moving. So that's number one. That's the first problem. If your mindset or your outcome or your perspective of the market is simply to focus on algorithms and focus on why the market is moving there, why should the market do this? If I am in a position, why should I hold to here? Why should this be my price target? Why should this be my stop loss? Now, a lot of those things will be based off the chart, but a lot of it needs to be based off of risk and confidence. For this specific trade, I am confident the market goes here. I am not confident that we break this imbalance. Is there a possibility we do so? Yes, but I am not focused on making money. I am focused on confidence. Somebody who's focused on making money is targeting down here and will get stopped at break even. Somebody who's focused on what they're confident in comes down, take a scale, partial, rest get stopped at break even. It is a subtle difference, but it all goes back to why. Why are you making that decision? So just some food for thought. What was? Oh, and then I took a little long. I'm not gonna lie. I did take this after the live. I did not alert this trade, but I did take this long here. Right here, 50-second. I took a long right here. Just to this recent high. Again, bigger time frame imbalance. We got displacement, looking for the internal model. We retrace back into the 15-second imbalance. Once we've held the imbalance, again, bigger time frame draw is higher. Once we pull back, respect it, displacement imbalance, nice long, good risk. Was this the one that I took on live? I took another long. Later on. I don't know. It must have been, oh, it was over here. Okay, so this was the long that I took on live then. Okay, I was confused, sorry. That was today's. Okay. My bad. I took another long. Outside them. So this was the one and the second one, or the fourth one we took on live. We took two wins, 2 losses on live. Again, 2 wins, 2 losses. Everybody should be up if you are taking 2 wins and 2 losses, if you are managing risk correctly. This was the second trade we took on live. Again, we ended up chopping, and then finally ended up taking it out taking it out fucking buy side. And then after that, we ended up selling back down into this range. Again, from here. Oh, no, I took one more loss. Sorry, I did. I gave shorts a stab right here. Had one last manipulation move to the downside. Again, I took a small stab short. Last trade of the live. Came back into the imbalance. Once I saw that we took this recent high out, we got displacement. Took a nice little short stab right here. Stop at the high. Looking to see us start to sell back off. And again, I'm fine with this trade, actually. This one did not look too bad. The only really thing I would say wasn't good for this trade is ES had a lot of room to rebound. And keep in mind as well, ES was stuck in this range for so long. We literally were chopping all day on ES. But again, bigger time frame imbalance. Came up. Equal highs, gets taken. Displacement, 5-minute fair value gap. Keep in mind also, this 5-minute fair value gap got ran through. So once this 5-minute got ran through, I'm looking for this to become an overlap BPR with this new imbalance. I waited for the stop rate. Again, total loss that I'm willing to take. This is what I would normally take, a normal model of mine. And I'm fine with taking this loss, again, with low size. Again, look at the risk on this. I'm totally fine with risking a couple $100 to make thousands. And not only is this a thousands trade, but this is an opportunity that if we were to reject here and we continue to get displacement, I'm constantly looking to scale into this winner. This is one of the opportunities where we have so much room. If I find what the right draw is and we get good precision price action, I will constantly scale into my position when we get a move like this. Because what I'm basically expecting to see is I enter half size. I got stopped. Took a $400 loss on this trade. But what would have happened if this would have been a winner? This wouldn't have just been look at this, I would have made a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s. This would have been hey, we respect this displacement, break through this low. Let me add to my position here. Again, once this, even more conviction now. Even why is this point in time even more conviction for this trade? Because we've displaced through the recent low on a smaller time frame. This entry was early because we did not displace through any low. We took the high, displaced in the range. There's no low here taken. If we were to come down and then break through this previous low, adding even more conviction onto the model. This is now respecting that we are now in an internal market maker sell model to now roll back over. Once this gets broken through, add contract, displace, scale back out a little bit, scale out along the way, come back up to the bigger time frame imbalance, waiting, internal model, displacement, scale back in, scale back out. I'm constantly taking advantage of what the draw is from what the market is telling me. So when you guys see me take stops, I'm getting stopped on fractions of what my normal position size is because I'm looking for scales. Does that make sense? That's how I have so little losses. My losses are super small, but my winners are big. It's because when I do get the understanding of what the draw is, when we do get a clean model, I'm constantly taking advantage of it. Make sense? And then the last trade I took was right here. Once we ended up running through this 5-minute fair value gap, I knew the draw was still higher. Zoomed into the 1 minute. Again, pretty much the same setup as the one earlier. Came back down to this 1 minute fair value gap. Again, once we came back down to hold this, I was looking to see this get respected. Zoomed into the 15-second. Boom, big displacement up. Came back, respected. Took the fair value gap long. Targeting buy side. Any questions on any of those trades? Or any questions on anything we've discussed so far? Did you scale on any? Nope, I didn't scale on any of my trades today. And you won't see me do so when we have, again, low conditions. Yeah, 3 wins today. 3 wins, 2 losses, or 3 losses? 3 wins, 3 losses? Or 2 losses. I took that 1 loss in the morning from that 1 contract that I got stopped pre-market. I took the loss right here. Two losses, 3 wins, I think. Yeah. Would you always advise to let the first trade go by? No, it depends on the model. Can you take a look at the PM Silver Bullet? I wouldn't even been looking, really, to be honest. Again, I like this possible short. But again, only targeting this internal sell side. What are your go-to models? It's going to take a lot of explaining, so I'll just link you this. This model is pretty much every model I trade. This whole thread is what I look for in the market. Now, when I trade, it's a mix of all of these things, but this is pretty much how I view the market. For anyone trying to build confidence with simply entering a trade, lower your size to the smallest you can. Do 1 micro if you can. Keep doing that because you won't mind the loss at all. Then, after you've done that for a few weeks, don't up your size. Everyone thinks that the point and then start entering larger size. Instead, I still enter the same size, and now the difference will be that once you see it going in your direction, add 2 more micros. Do this for another 3 weeks, a month. You will see your confidence build so much. I love that, brother. I love it. 100%. I agree with this, especially if you want to practice pyramiding and taking advantage of high confident opportunity. Instead of scaling up, James, that's actually, I'm very, very happy you said that, because I've really never thought about that too for practice, but that's a super smart idea. If you want to focus on building confidence with your edge and also building confidence with scaling, your initial size should not change when you are learning. Trade small size, and like James said, scale into a position. Do not just enter 3 contracts. Enter 1 contract. When you get what you need to see in price, add another contract. Add another contract. Again, continuing to move your stop and taking advantage of the opportunity. Taking that 5-minute short since we were in the 15-minute OTE, wasn't sure. Probably not. It's not bad, but probably not. Just because, again, it's a Monday. The action today isn't really super clear. And again, that's why today is not. You won't see me scale into trades on a day like this. You won't see me, over leverage myself. I trade very small size on a day like this because why? I'm not focused on making money. Can you review this? Yep, this looks good. This is a good long. Can you check we took out 4-hour buy side, displaced lower, rejected bearish fair value gap, displaced to the low, creating fair value gap. That's the fair value gap above. Oh, we tapped out on a smart time frame. Yeah, if there was the imbalance there on a smaller time frame, then that looks good. I like that. Do you scale only on fair value gaps or other PD arrays? For instance, would you pyramid directly after a PD array? No, I'll enter just to enter. I don't necessarily need an imbalance. It's all based off of price action. If we come back to an imbalance and get displacement, I'll enter. I'll just slap at market. I'll literally market order into another contract or more contracts, whatever it is. I don't need an imbalance to enter. But an imbalance are the best areas because, again, they're points in time where we're most likely rebalance and hold. Thoughts on this? Joined yesterday, but I took it on Wednesday before you went live on YouTube. You said that there was no trade there. What the fuck was this? Brother, did you just trade news? No. Was this FOMC minutes? Or was this market open? This was market open, huh? Yeah. I like the trade, but I wouldn't... if you are trading this on market open, you have to have very small risk. Very small. Because you can easily... this can easily just wick through your stop loss. Easily get a terrible fill if you're trading open like this. So, low size if you're doing that. But the model looks good. The only thing I don't like about it is it's just right at open. As a newbie here, how should we think when we attend your live sessions? Great question. Let's talk about it. As somebody, okay, if I was you and I had the opportunity to be in a community like this, I wish that I could have been in a community like this when I first started trading. This is my recommendation to you, every person in here, to get the most out of us, me and every analyst, and watching these sessions, everything. This is what you should be doing. Number one, our goal, every person in here, our goal is to make everybody self-sufficient. Our goal is for you to eventually leave this community because you can trade on your own. You come in, we rewire you, give you a couple spankings for doing bad things, change the way you think, change the way you trade, and send you on your way to live your life. That's our whole goal. So coming into us, your goal, all I want you to do is, number one, what we preach all the time. When you are watching me trade, number one, ask questions. The whole goal is for you guys to ask questions. This is not a community where I'm, a fake fucking, oh my God, guru trader. I'm going to ignore all these questions because I don't know how to answer them, or like I just don't want to answer questions. I will answer anything you ask me unless it's like fucking stupid personal questions. Any question you have, I will answer. So use that to your advantage. Number two, constantly journal your problems and ask them in charting sessions. You have the opportunity to use pure experience. I'm literally just a ball of experience. Use that. Come to me. Say, hey, Justin, I took this trade. This was my bias. I think this was right. This is how I thought during this trade. This was my mindset. What do you think about this? I'm going to say, hey, bro, that looks great, or whatever it is, right? But it's very important. Use that to your advantage. Number three, when we are in live trading sessions, I want you to focus on multiple things. Number one, if I take a trade, do not, I repeat, do not just blindly buy or sell when I say I am entering a position. And again, as many times as I will say this, I know there is hundreds of people that will do so, and there's nothing I can do about it because there's always going to be signal bots. But do not just buy or sell when I say I am longing or shorting. Before you do so, my goal is for you to be already thinking that you want to take a long or short. And most of the time, the people who have been in this community, you will get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I think we might be looking for a long setup here. We might be short setup. And then I'll be like, all right, guys, I'm looking for a long here. And then how good do you feel when that happens? I guarantee you that a lot of you guys have gotten to that point. And that's the goal. As want you guys to see the same things I see without even saying a word. Okay? So when you're watching me trade as well, watch how I behave. Another biggest thing. Compared to other traders, compared to other influencers, compared to other mentors, whatever it be, notice how we behave when I am in a trade. I am not a fucking monkey. I'm not blasting fucking stupid shit. I'm not overly excited. I'm not overly sad. I am simply there in the present moment managing a position. I have no correlation, no connection to any outcome. It is either my stop gets hit or my price target gets hit. That is it. You are a robot, a literal robot. That's why I always say, when I say reprogram somebody, because you should be behaving like a robot. My goal is to reprogram how you think. Turned off my P&L during trading today. Scary as fuck, but it did allow me to fully focus on the trade. Love to hear it, Uno. Keep doing it. And see how different you trade. Traded this with one micro. It played out great. Do you think it was a good setup? Yeah, this looks good. Again, 2022 model, buy side swept, displacement, breaker, imbalance, short. Again, scaling partials, let the runner go. Maybe this got stopped in runners, but yeah, this looks fine. Yep, that looks good too, Nathan. How do we start a hedge fund? I want to be a market maker. You don't. Caught the knife before the market closed. Nice. All right, guys. Any last questions for me tonight? Oh, let's get into what we're looking at going into tomorrow. Let me clear up the charts a little bit here. So I'm hoping, like we talked about the possibilities of on Sunday night session of what we were expecting on Monday. Again, exactly what we wanted to see on Monday, we prepared for. Monday could go either way, either expecting manipulation move on Monday, either expecting sell off. We got manipulation move higher, starting to sell back off in the range. I knew that Monday most likely sets us up for the week. So came up, took out that 4-hour buy side level, now starting to displace, again, zooming back out to the 4-hour. Still wanting this to be market maker sell model, this internal model to then roll over to this bigger time frame imbalance, again, which is the weekly fair value gap before going higher. So going into tomorrow, what do I want to see? Displacement back to the downside, looking for imbalances to take short. First draw on liquidity, going to be these equal lows, then this next low, and then the external low. We have a lot of lows in our way. I'm going to want this to become low resistance liquidity. Depending on what happens in the overnight session is what's going to depend on what we're looking at going into tomorrow. So right now, we have a 30-minute fair value gap. We could absolutely continue to hold this, possibly come up, take this little intraday high, displace, sell off. That's absolutely a possibility of what we could expect to see in the overnight session. Depending on if we take that low in the morning or not is what's going to depend on what I'm watching for at open. So we'll talk about that in the morning session tomorrow when we see what happens in the overnight session. Any questions? What time frames do you look like for SMTs? Every time frame. But intraday SMTs, like on smaller time frames, doesn't mean a lot if the draw is still higher. So don't get too shaken up by them. How long are you on the chart for a day? I feel like I'm on it too early or too late sometimes. Too early or too late as in like coming to the market early or late, or as in staying on longer or staying on less? No, there's no reason for you to be trading pre-market. You can wake up, watch pre-market for 20 minutes, and then don't take a trade till market open. Most of the time. What books do you recommend for psychology? Ooh, great book I'm reading right now, actually. It's more of an entrepreneurial, but there's a lot of psychology in it. Highly recommend this book. This has kind of completely rewired how I think when it comes to business and when I think coming into growing businesses. It's called 10x is easier than 2x by Dan Sullivan. It is an absolute beast of a book. I highly recommend reading this one. 10x is easier than 2x. Highly recommend. Dude, we should do book nights. We should do book nights. Pick a new book every week. And we come in, have some Audible, get an Audible plan, do like 20-minute, 30-minute sessions. Talk about the chapter afterward. That sounds pretty far. But no like dumb books. We're doing like actual books that are gonna, I'm picking that shit. Or we'll do like polls and stuff. I have not read Trading in the Zone. I have not. I've watched his seminars though, but I haven't read the full book. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. Get some rest. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Peace out, guys. Much love.